Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Prophet. I'm not having the best morning. I decided that I wanted to go to sleep with my laptop on my stomach, and I woke up and now my laptop is um not in the best condition, but I hope I can power through it anyway. I hope I can power through it. I don't know, man. I'm really hurt right now. I can't believe I did this to myself, but long story short, as this shows right here, I got my dad's Christmas present, and I'm going to be working on my dad's Christmas present. What that means is I decided that I was going to get my dad well, cryptocurrency for Christmas. He's an old man, or an older man. I like to call him old man, but he is an older man, and he is not as privy to the new sciences as I'd like him to be. So I'm going to change that. I'm gonna get my dad where he needs to be, and I hope you guys uh, learn a little bit while I do it. I'm just doing my research and seeing where I'm gonna put my money, where I'm gonna invest my money for my dad, and we'll take it from there. Much love to you guys. I hope you enjoy. I'm not gonna do anything special. I'm literally just gonna look for news and confirmation of what I'm doing.
Vimeo changed my life. I had to.
Honestly, right now I want to look for the Litecoin news. Because, alright, I guess let me narrate while I'm doing this. I'm gonna look for Litecoin news. Why? Because honestly, a couple people that I've spoken to said I should invest in Litecoin. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, and it just seems to be growing. Last night when I went to sleep, it was wow, wow, wow. Everyone goes down, but Bitcoin goes up. It's interesting. That's interesting. Last night I went to sleep, it was 300. It just keeps on fucking skyrocketing and skyrocketing and skyrocketing. I think that's amazing. 12.6 all the way. Jeez. Jesus. It's been up 8,000% since the last year. In the last month, it's been up 8,000%. I think that's amazing. So I want to do my research into exactly what's going on here and see if I want to invest in it. Wants people to stop fussing over the rally in cryptocurrency. Litecoin prices have risen almost 8,000% this year.
How much, I should say, do you expect the price to rise from this point out? I mean, is the best yet to come?
I never like to speculate on prices because I'm always wrong. So, yeah, and also, if I tell you it's going to go up and it doesn't, then you'll be upset. if I don't, it does, and you'll also be upset. So.
I think I think if it doesn't go upset, go up rather. There are a lot of investors up there that are going to be upset anyway. But talking about the price and what's expected to come, when we heard from you just a couple of days ago, you were essentially warning investors that if they can't handle the ride, the volatility, and they don't want their investments to go back down to $20, then they shouldn't be investing in Litecoin. A couple of weeks prior to that, though, you tweeted out that you were really starting a marketing push for Litecoin, which seems that you do want that investor attention and interest into the space. So why then come out a couple of days ago and say to everyone, just be careful here?
Yeah, well, for the marketing push I was referring to, I wanted more people to hear about Litecoin to actually use it. In terms of the price, I would rather the price stay relatively stable because if you want to use it as a currency, the price can't fluctuate by like 50% every day. So as for the warning I gave people, I hope people will realize that investing in Bitcoin is very volatile, and Litecoin is even more volatile than Bitcoin. So I've seen prices go up, just like this year, it went up almost 100 times, and that's crazy. So, and also I've seen it drop 80% of the value over the span of a year. So I just want to warn people that they should invest responsibly. Don't spend all your life savings to buy a cryptocurrency in case it can drop 80%.
Hi Charlie, it's Dan here. Do you think the rapid price appreciation that we've seen in Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies this year is actually distracting from the underlying technology that a lot of these cryptos represent?
Yeah, it's quite distracting. I think because we're still early, right now most people are just using Bitcoin and Litecoin as a speculative asset. They're not really buying Bitcoin and Litecoin to actually spend it as a currency. So until things start to calm down, people won't really use it as a currency. They're just using it to speculate.
This is true. I want to see who this Charlie Lee character is and what he plans.
Okay, I'm gonna start. All right, what's up, internet? What's up, world? This is the blockchainers, Cian,
Young-hun.
and we're propagating straight from the heart of Korea, trying to tell the world and the internet everything that is going on in the blockchain crypto ecosystem here in Korea, bringing you news, interviews, general goodness, and all that good Korean soul. Today on our the blockchainer show, we got our very, 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 very special guest. Yeah, Mr. Charlie Lee, creator of Litecoin, aka Satoshi Light. Welcome, Charlie.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming despite all your busy schedule.
Yeah, sorry about missing last time. The time zone difference. I got it wrong by a day, so.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, yeah. Please say hi to Korea.
Hey Korea.
All right, then we'll dive right in. We got a couple of questions, but we'll try to hit all the ones that are important. Yeah. So people actually, this is just something that people wanted me to tell you. I know like people have a love-hate relationship with your tweets, but many Koreans have actually told me in person that they really appreciate your honest, no bullshit attitude.
220 Gamers is now hosting me for 3 viewers. What's up, 220? Thank you for the host.
Did you expect your tweet about Chinese exchanges to get that much attention? And who's responsible for the price drop? Is it you or Jamie Dimon?
I don't know actually. I think a bit of both. Well, I didn't expect it to really affect the price that much, but then I guess I should have expected it. Yeah, I just never know what affects price and what doesn't. Like sometimes I mention something I feel to be very like groundbreaking, nothing happens to your price, and sometimes I mention something that really was just a silly joke, and then all of a sudden the price drops or it goes up.
Yes, sir. I mean, we definitely like knew from that you were an influencer. So, like, what How did you create Litecoin? What was your inspiration for it?
Um,
The reason I'm watching this very, very, very painful interview with these gentlemen right now is because this gentleman on the screen right here, Mr. Lee, is going to explain exactly what the fuck is going on with Litecoin, what he plans on in the future, and what's to come. This lets me know whether I want to invest in it and whether I share the same vision that he does for his coin.
I actually I was playing around with Bitcoin Codebase and just wanted to create something better than what's out there, like all the other altcoins out there at the time. And I also wanted to create, I saw Bitcoin as digital gold and I wanted to create a digital silver, uh, like silver to Bitcoin to gold. So I just created Litecoin. You know, just made it faster, having more transaction throughput, and it will be cheaper. Fees will be cheaper, and figured that could be a good complement to Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I know like you weren't focused on it. Oh shit. On it.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
To Bitcoin.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and
Oh
I know
shit.
like you weren't focused on it. Oh shit. Yeah, I know you weren't focused on it like 100% at the very beginning. But what changed? Like, what's different now that you're focused on it better than before?
Well, initially, I I joined Coinbase in 2013. I figured that in order for, I mean, I was first a Bitcoiner before I created Litecoin. So I always believed in Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin didn't succeed, Litecoin wouldn't go anywhere, right? It's not that I think Litecoin could overtake Bitcoin, become the number one cryptocurrency. I always saw it, both of them working together. So I figured joining Coinbase and helping Coinbase make Bitcoin easy to use would be more beneficial to make both Bitcoin and Litecoin successful. So that's what I did. Joined Coinbase, worked there for about 4 years, was director of engineering, and really helped Coinbase become what it is today. And Coinbase has helped a lot of people get into the crypto space, make it easy to buy, store, and hold Bitcoin and now Litecoin. So I think it's good. And now that Coinbase has established itself, I figured it was time for me to jump back into like full time working on Litecoin and try to make that a success.
Yeah. So how do you envision like with everything that you said? It seems like you envision Bitcoin and Litecoin being like the two top dogs at the end of the day. So how do you envision like the future cryptocurrency landscape to be? Will there be a one coin that rules them all, or how is it gonna look like?
Um, you never know what's gonna happen. Like when I created Litecoin, I didn't expect much of it. It was more like a fun project, and it just became like more and more successful and became a big deal. Um, so I guess my vision is for multiple currencies to coexist and for people to use all of them without really having to understand the complexity behind the scene. So some like SegWit and Lightning would help, where people can send coins and convert on the fly to any other coin, and not really need to understand exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and but like okay, it's very interesting because
Yeah.
on the one hand, you worked at Coinbase, so you worked at a pretty centralized exchange, and then now
Mm-hmm.
you got all this atomic swap plus Lightning Network, everything that is possibly on and off chain atomic swaps, which might give birth to like decentralized exchanges as well as a very thriving OTC environment. Like, how do
Mm-hmm.
you, yeah? So how do you think it's gonna like where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I mean, centralized exchanges for crypto fiat is always going to be important. Like people have to get into the like um, space, right? They have to convert their fiat to crypto first. So they would need people or companies like Coinbase to make it really easy to get into crypto. But once you're in crypto, everything should be a lot easier, right? With smart contracts, with atomic swaps, you should be able to convert between Bitcoin and Litecoin and any other currencies like instantaneously, low fees, and quickly. So that's what I see would happen, where it will still be hard for people to convert from fiat to crypto because there's going to be regulation, there's going to be anti money laundering laws, and know your customer stuff. But once you're in crypto, it will be very efficient and cheap to move around.
Is there any decentralized exchange projects that
I don't know why this Charlie Lee guy, he just seems very calculating. He seems like he knows something that he's not letting on.
is there any decentralized exchange projects that you're keen on, or do you just see just atomic swaps being the answer for it all?
I mean, there's a lot of decentralized exchanges projects going on right now. I don't really have any particular one that I'm really excited about, but I did actually invest in some of my personal funds in helping a friend out, and he's working on a decentralized exchange that he's working on. It will be announced soon. That could be interesting. I think in the future there's going to be a lot of decentralized exchanges, and Lightning Network would make it very useful. Where if you have what their conversion rate is, and when you're routing, just to test it out, and it was fun.
I want to know what
Um,
Litecoin does. Litecoin on him. All right, I want to see what Litecoin does.
It's been surging the last couple of weeks. Just look at that graphic there, and expectations we're likely to see Bitcoin miners back. A larger software upgrade, easing worries that we'll see us.
Nothing comes before coffee. It's your morning wake up. That's why we're introducing a new line of cafe quality espresso drinks from the cafe. Like
Crypto Bud here for today. Litecoin analysis. Let's take a look at the first one, fundamentally and technically. And what you're going to find here is something really interesting. So the first question is, why Litecoin? Litecoin is a global decentralized currency. It's basically Bitcoin 2.0. Litecoin has a much faster and streamlined technology. In my opinion, it is actually far superior technologically than Bitcoin. Think of two highways. One highway is completely crowded with a bunch of trucks, cars, God knows what else is in there. Nobody's moving. Fees are high. Litecoin is the exact opposite. Someone just built a highway that is literally empty. So in terms of Litecoin, it allows you to transact using blockchain technology off the Bitcoin platform in its entirety. The source code is also open. It's a limited cap of coins, and basically it's a little bit more than a Bitcoin. However, it does the exact same functionality as Bitcoin. They have a Litecoin Core wallet for the phone, and they also have a coin wallet for the computer, which makes transactions faster and accessible. Here's my investment thesis, and I think that, as you guys already know, I like to think of Litecoin as an investment and not necessarily as a trade. I extremely like Litecoin just because it's one of those coins that has been around for a while, and in fact it has a lot of potential, but people are still underestimated and still believe it is silver to Bitcoin, which I completely disagree. All right, for the first thing, this is the order of importance when I look at coins that I'm reviewing. The first one is that Litecoin, well, we'll take a look at see which ones of these it actually hits. The first one is the investment thesis is number one, it has to be scarce. Coins do not rise because if they do not rise just because. They rise because they derive value for someone or an organization. They also they have some sort of, which basically means they have utility. And the second one, which is most important, is they actually are scarce. In other words, they are not inflationary. Second point is that they have to have community and branding. What that means is that they have to have active marketing, adoption, and also brand recognition across the board. The third one is, in order of importance, is they have to have active development. Developers have to be constantly upgrading the system, their network, and adding in improvements and enhancements to extract more value from the coin itself. And the last one is technology, is what are some key technological features they have, and the last one is going to be funding. Some people may disagree with this, and I completely understand that, but for my personal opinion, for my investments, I usually look at the first two. Coins that do not fit in there don't usually last too long, in my opinion. Litecoin has one of the key features is that it actually has some sort of community going on. Now, when I say community, is because community meaning that it's got brand awareness and people are actively talking about it. If you take a look at the Google Trends for Litecoin, it's basically been on a tear since April. And what that basically means is that there is a lot of interest in Litecoin, but not necessarily in the media. And so one of the problems with Litecoin is that a lot of people do not really know about it because Bitcoin takes the spotlight. And the second thing is Litecoin is considered to be a carbon copy of Bitcoin, which technically it is. So, however, we're starting to see a difference in that pickup. And so Litecoin has that ability now to tap into that community that probably wasn't there before. Second thing on community, I've went ahead and took this as to show some proof of this. Litecoin community charts on the Reddit subscribers were about 31,000, which is compared to Bitcoin. It's not as high as Bitcoin, but it's getting up there. Twitter followers, 35,000, a very healthy following. And Facebook likes, I mean, I kind of take a look at that one. But notice the trends since September of 2014 when we had that nice pop. The green line, which indicates the Facebook likes, have been basically elevated. However, the price for Litecoin has not caught up. Second thing is, notice carefully on the black line, you'll see that Twitter subscribers is also at all-time high with September of 2014. And if you take a look at the blue line, which is the Reddit, we're starting to see a lot more pickup. So in terms of the interest, I don't agree when people say that Litecoin is, let's just say, there. The proof is right here, guys. If you take a look at the trends, the price action in September of 14 and 13 was a lot higher than what we're at right now. And so what you're seeing here is that you're seeing this trend moving up towards the increasing side. So the question now becomes is that why are people interested in Litecoin? But again, facts speak for themselves. Transaction costs, key feature for Litecoin. First of all, if you take a look at the average transactions versus Bitcoin, it's obviously not going to be as high. However, when we're looking at the cost itself, we're looking at about per Litecoin, the average transaction value for Litecoin is $28,000, which means people are moving a lot of money using this coin. 20 grand moving up and down, huge. Second thing is taking a look at the actual transaction value. In the median, the average one is $510 USD. So basically what you're saying is people are transferring smaller amounts more frequently. However, the average is 28,000. So you do get people who are who are actually transacting very large sums of money. But the key thing I want you guys to mention here, is that this value right here. Litecoin is going to kind of take that with Dash, so it's going to be Litecoin versus Dash in terms of which coin is going to stay. Is going to really determine the average transaction. If Litecoin can capitalize on the microtransactions, anything $500 or less than that, you're going to start seeing a lot more pickup. Now here's what the interesting part is. The actual fees themselves for Litecoin, it is tiny. It's almost negligible. 0.12 cents average, and the median average transaction fee is 0.016. So basically a penny every single time you're transacting values. So I'm going to throw this out to you, right? If you're experiencing Bitcoin transaction fees, why would someone go with Bitcoin when they could use Litecoin as not only as a medium of exchange, but also on the saving themselves on the fees? And I can tell you, look at the graph right here. On the last 24 hours, the fees are basically great. So it's basically, it costs almost zero to transact large sums of money. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go forward. All right, historical price for Litecoin, just taking a look at the technicals real quick. January 14 was really when we hit that peak for Litecoin at about 0.13 Bitcoin USD. So the way it works is that if you take a look at the price of Litecoin, we are not even at the 14th level, considering that Litecoin went with SegWit and that Litecoin is considering using the Lightning technology to bridge with that Bitcoin. So
Fiat is to gold as Lightning Network is to Bitcoin. Hmm. I don't feel like reading, man. I don't have the energy today, so I'm just gonna Google everything. But hold on. Let's go to light.
Want to learn more about cryptocurrencies? You should take online cryptocurrency courses on Udemy. They've got fresh new courses, all taught by expert instructors. You'll learn to buy and sell Bitcoin, identify coins with great potential, use exchanges like Poloniex and Bittrex, everything you need to know, and all for the price of lunch. You can take the courses at any time on any device, and if they don't work out, you can always get your money back within 30 days. I can't wait to see what you do with this. Stop searching and get started with this special discount.
I don't understand. How do I have a net worth of 325 and I've only invested 17?
The Lightning Network is an off-chain Layer 2 network that aims to scale the Bitcoin and Litecoin networks to be able to handle anywhere from millions to billions of transactions per second.
That's why Litecoin is gonna go up, because they're trying to work with Bitcoin
Instantly, through the power of smart contracts.
I don't know if you guys are correlating everything. If
A typical transaction.
If Bitcoin continues to go up and Litecoin is growing with it, then Litecoin will see the astronomical prices that we've been seeing here. So, you know, like, we'll keep on seeing this huge spike, which is, again, amazing to me, but let's continue.
Consists of a sender and receiver. In this case, Lucy sending Alex some coins directly. And whilst this works fine in most situations, Lucy has to pay a growing transaction fee due to increased demand on the network, limited block space, and on top of that, have to wait for her transaction to confirm. The Lightning Network solves this issue through the use of payment channels, by allowing users to send multiple transactions to and from each other off-chain, in the form of redeemable IOUs. Kinda, sort of. Let me explain. Payment channels use multi-signature addresses and exist between
he needs to
two
put some
users for a
fucking
set
life
period.
into his fucking voice. No one wants to. Let me explain. Even when he's showing emotion, it's so emotionless. Let me explain. I will explain what is going on.
How to create your own stunning website with Wix.
I will now explain to you. What will... Shut the fuck up.
Step 1. Choose a design you love.
Many people believe that Bitcoin is the future of our financial system, but there is a big issue standing in the way of this goal, and that is scalability. Let me give an example. The payment provider Visa processes on average around 4,000 transactions per second and can scale up to a maximum of 65,000. Bitcoin, on the other hand, can handle up to 7 transactions per second with the current block size of 1 megabyte. Not tens of thousands, but just 7. Clearly, the main blockchain isn't very scalable, but it doesn't have to be. The community has come up with a new technique called the Lightning Network to solve the scalability issues. The key idea is that small and everyday transactions don't have to be stored on the main blockchain. This avoids the 7 transactions per second limit and is also called the off-chain approach. So how does it work? Well, let's take a look at an example. Let's say that every morning Bob buys a cup of coffee on his way to work. Creating a transaction on the blockchain for a simple coffee is really overkill. He might end up paying more fees than the actual price of his coffee. However, with the Lightning Network, Bob can set up a payment channel with the coffee shop. To do that, both the coffee shop and Bob deposit a certain amount of Bitcoin in what is called a multi-signature address. Let's assume that Bob deposits 0.05 Bitcoin and that the coffee shop deposits nothing because they don't offer refunds. This multi-signature address is basically like a safe that can only be opened when both parties agree. When we open the payment channel, we also make a balance sheet that says how the funds in the address should be distributed. So right now it says that Bob will get 0.05 Bitcoin and that the coffee shop will get 0 Bitcoin, the same as they deposited. Opening the payment channel happens on the main blockchain so that there is full transparency. The coffee shop owner can see that Bob has deposited 0.05 Bitcoin and he can rest assured that he will get his money once the channel closes. Now that the channel is open, Bob can order his morning coffee. Let's say that a coffee costs 0.001 Bitcoin. To pay for it, Bob simply changes the balance sheet. He subtracts the cost of a coffee from his balance and adds it to the coffee shop's balance. So now it says that Bob will get 0.045 Bitcoin and that the coffee shop gets 0.005 Bitcoin.
That's an expensive coffee. Nah, actually, this is good. I miss cash. Finally someone made a proper video explaining. Alright, so this lets me know something about Litecoin. Alright, so let me start writing everything. I need to start writing everything down for my dad so that he can know what the fuck he's reading. Yeah, just like that. So
Bob and the coffee shop now sign the updated balance sheet with their private keys. They then each keep a copy of it, but they don't do anything else with it. Bob can keep ordering coffee for as long as he has a balance in the payment channel. Both of them can make hundreds of thousands of transactions between them. There's really no limit because this happens away from the main blockchain.
I like this actually.
But all good stories come to an end. The payment channel can be closed at any time by either Bob or the coffee shop. All they have to do is take the latest balance sheet, which was signed by both parties, and broadcast it to the Bitcoin network. Miners will then validate the signatures on the balance sheet and, if everything checks out, release the funds according to the balance sheet. This will create a single transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain. So the Lightning Network can significantly reduce the load on the main blockchain. It only requires 2 transactions on the blockchain, one to open the payment channel and another one to close it. It's also very safe. The system ensures that only the latest signed balance sheet can be used to unlock the money. And because both parties have a signed copy of the balance sheet, they can release the funds at any time, even if the other one doesn't want to cooperate anymore. So for example, Bob cannot hold the money hostage that belongs to the coffee shop, and vice versa. But it doesn't end there. You don't need to open a direct payment channel with everyone you want to send bitcoins to. You can simply use the network to pass your coins around. Here is Alice. She's a friend of Bob. They have exchanged money on the Lightning Network before, so they have an active payment channel. Now let's say that Alice wants to buy a coffee. Instead of opening a direct channel to the coffee shop, she can transfer the money to Bob, who will then transfer it to the coffee shop. So there's no need to create a payment channel with everyone. In the Lightning Network, your payment tries to find a route from person A to person B, and it tries to do this with the least amount of intermediates and the least amount of fees. This further reduces the strain on the blockchain but it requires the intermediates to have enough money in their payment channels. So now you know what the Lightning Network is and how it works. But
I like it. Now, I actually don't think I'm gonna be on this long. There's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's something I have to do. Wow, Ethereum dropped to 677, and I know it's gonna go back up. I gotta figure out how, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. Alright, so I was just looking at not IOTA, which is now 11th place. Cardano is now in 8th place, which is awesome. ¿A dónde está? ¿A dónde está? Litecoin. Oh, that's what I was looking at. I'm a dick. Excuse me, guys. No, as a matter of fact, I was looking for IOTA. This is what I want to do. I know that I'm going to be investing in IOTA amongst another one as well. So right now, I want to make sure I remember how much it cost. IOTA. So that's how much it cost. $12, $16, $17, 3 p.m. I'm gonna leave it there, and you know, I have to update my portfolio. I think I'm gonna do that off screen so I can see exactly how much I make and all that stuff. But I hope that I do help someone later on, or I hope I help someone. I hope that we all become some millionaires. But until then, we just gotta keep on working at it. Guys, much love. I'm actually needed at the store, amongst other things. I will be back, but it's a pleasure to see you, and I will see you next time. My name's Prophet. I'm out.